still on the topic of conversation contracts. Rockets front office and both Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun's camps have had productive conversations, but both players have belief that they're max type of players. Rockets have presented both players deals. There's not a max contract on the table right now. If there was, there would have been a max extension signed. That's from Shams Charania.
Now, here's the other conversation when we have these type of talks. I think the wording there, that's why I can't be a GM yet. I got to get some maturity. Because we would be having this conversation, Mike. You're my assistant GM.
Right.
Jalen Green tells us he thinks he's a max player. I have to look at Jalen Green and tell him, no, you want to be paid like one. Because you damn sure, a max player with no all-star appearances, you can't be talking to me. Mm-hmm. I'm a basketball savant. We work in basketball, homie.
Don't even know if you're the best player on our team yet.
We know that he's not, which is okay.
Yeah. A max player and being paid like one is two different things.
All of these younger players that
Kevin Durant is a max player.
Very good promise. These dudes get rookie max extensions.
That was my thinking too. Everybody's just getting maxes like that. It feels, and you already said there's no middle ground, but like it used to be a point where you kind of worked your way up. Like a rookie would get paid, it would be like 15 to 25 million. You'd be like, okay, usually it would be like around 20 mil, and then after that, when they hit like 26, 27, that's when the big maxes come out. It seems like they already going to 40 million.
Monday is the deadline, though. Yeah. So if they don't get it by Monday, then it won't. They will go to restricted free agency. And I'm not completely sure why GMs don't do restricted free agency.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Everybody
But I think it's the scaring part.
And you don't have no choice.
I think it's just the scary part that it's like, man, somebody could really just give this dude all this money in his life.
I can match it.
I can match it.
Yeah.
Nobody's giving him, yeah. I'm 1,000% agrees with KB. If somebody said he go $50 million, hey, now you got him. But if I'm on max extend him anyway, it's already gonna be a bag. So it's like that's what they also used to do back in the day. A lot of guys
they
did it with Aiden
too.
The Suns did it with Aiden. They let his ass sit on restricted free agency.
And the moment he signed that contract, they said we match it.
Yeah.
They used to do that a lot. I remember
they didn't even want that contract.
I remember when Eric Gordon wanted to leave the Pelicans and go to the Suns, and they said nah. And Eric Gordon to me was good at the time, but it's like show it. The Bulls did it with Zach LaVine, if I'm not mistaken. The Kings tried to get him.
Sure did.
It's like if you can go show us. Now the tough thing about that is it could hamper a relationship.
Sure. The Bulls did it with Jimmy Butler as well.
To say, prove to me that you're worth this, but at the end of the day, it's business. You gonna act like it bother you until you see that $40 million going annually be in that account. After taxes, it won't be that, but you're gonna have 40 M's. Hey, if I have to go and show why I'm worth what I'm worth as a podcaster, won't be no problem. Because once they hit the account, however I got it is how I got it. If I have to prove it, I have no problem proving it. Mm-hmm. But
so a lot of guys have signed theirs already.
Y'all think is Sengun the one? Would y'all have given Sengun the money?
Because I was playing 2K, I keep saying they both popped up for the Rockets, and I manually did all 30 teams, so nobody let a star player go. And I was having the same conversation with myself, Derek, because I'm like,
when I saw that, I was like, I think Sengun is the guy that I would have comfortably given it to, and I would have made Jalen Green go prove himself.
But Sengun also, we may like him better and value him more. He also ain't no damn max player either. So it's a tough place to be in because it's so.
But it also does the same thing that we were talking about. We saw Scotty Barnes get his. He's an all-star, so I guess that's fine. Kay Cunningham got his. Evan Mobley got his. Franz Wagner got his. Franz Wagner got a full $200 million max. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Green, of course, second overall pick in that same draft class. He's looking at his guys. You mentioned Jalen Suggs wanting his money. And Jonathan Kuminga, another guy who has not come to that extension just yet.
Has anybody you named, are they not better than Jalen Green or Alperen?
I would argue that between Alperen and Franz, it's a toss-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I can see why they got that extension though too.
Yeah, Scotty definitely deserved his money. Maxey just got his money too. I don't think Maxey's in that draft class, but Cade also got his, and so all those dudes, they deserve their money.
I think the Rockets gonna be picky though, because they just have a surplus of young players that they know that they have gonna have to pay.
They have to be picky,
and they don't want to be wrong on one.
The Rockets are really smart for taking their time, and I hope they do take their time. And I want these guys to get paid too. I don't want to, but I think the Rockets, if they can put themselves in a position to where they don't have to pay maxes, it will help them in the long run. But if you start handing them out for subpar play, then yeah, a Min Thompson ain't gonna be that far away from getting a bag. Reed Shepherd ain't gonna be that far away.
Imagine you paid Jalen Green a max deal and then Cam Whitmore just pop off, and you like,
my point exactly.
That could be my starting 2 guard right there, and he went on no max deal.
It's
Reed
a couple
Shepherd pop off.
different options they can go through, right? You can give them the money with the idea that one of these dudes is a part of our real future. The other dude is a trade asset for the max contract player, the real one. Other one is, of course, hit restricted free agency. Jalen Green go get it from Charlotte, and then we'll match it maybe. Or it's like a sign and trade at the end of the year. It's like, oh, Jimmy Butler want to play here. We'll sign and trade, double sign and trade with Miami, and then Jalen Green in Miami don't make sense. But just something along those lines. Those are the different options for them right now.
But the only thing about that, KB, is, and I'm trying to say it with grace because we're talking about young players, and you know I'm big on not writing away young players. If I'm these other teams, I don't want to pay Jalen Green $40 million.
Yeah. It's a big prove it year. We're gonna talk about players that would have lots of prove. Jalen Green,
and that's why I'm saying, like the Rockets, I think you have to let guys prove it. If I'm the Rockets and I have that much young talent, I have to. Yeah, they have. We can name 7. We can name a rotation of youth for them: Reed Shepherd, Amin Thompson, Jalen Green, Alperen, Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore.
You say
Jabari Smith Jr.
Jabari.
I almost called
That's the 7. I know I was forgetting one. Jabari. That's 7.
That's real. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
You also have to protect the asset if you're the Houston Rockets, right? So like,
and don't they got more picks coming?
I know they did the deal with the Brooklyn Nets to get Brooklyn back their picks. I think they got extra picks in return for that. But like, you got to protect the asset, right? So let's say hypothetically you don't give Jalen Green his max, but you also don't want to match somebody else giving him his max. You don't want to just lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that hasn't happened in history in a while.
Hey, on some real shit, we'd be the first. I would rather lose him for nothing than to have to pigeonhole myself by paying him close to $40 million. I wouldn't want to do that, obviously, but I also think franchises keep shooting themselves in the foot, theoretically, because of that. It's so, hey, man, sometimes you gain by losing. Like, that's life gym for some of y'all watching this. You might have a baddie in high school who's a thorn in your side. You might lose her, but you may gain a whole lot.
The Wizards could have done that low key with the Bradley Beal thing. Well, nah, because he wasn't a young player, but just like a player where it was just like, we can just let him walk, or we can get something for him or pay him. And it was just like, out of all the possibilities, we just gonna pay him 50 M's.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Harden where I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on ESPN.